Welcome one and all to the High Five, a show where I list my 5 favourite things in any particular field. Today we'll be looking at my 5 favourite movies from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Please remember that this is subjective and my opinion. There is no right answer, but these happen to be my 5 favourite movies and the movies that resonated with me the most. Enjoy. At 5 is the movie that represents Marvel's biggest risk today. It is none other than Guardians of the Galaxy, a film filled with so much high-octane action, side-splitting humour and genuine heart that the fact that it's only number 5 on my list is a testament to the efficiency and quality of the Marvel movie machine. Now, like the vast majority of you, I had no idea what a Guardian of the Galaxy was prior to the announcement of this movie. I mean, I was a comic book guy, sure, and I'd likely heard the name, but was so unfamiliar with the characters and the premise that it's fair to say that this was a pretty deep cut. However, Marvel saw possibilities in this group of galactic misfits. Without the rights to Fantastic Four, Marvel had to do something radical to introduce us to the cosmic element of its world, and that's what they did, and James Gunn was the perfect director to sell us on this world and these characters. What you end up with is basically the Avengers in space, although with a gun-toting raccoon and his talking tree friend. Guardians of the Galaxy was a hit with the moviegoers and critics alike, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us when they return in 2017. Number 4 is the movie that kicked it all off. That's right, it's the movie not only responsible for revitalising the career of one Robert Downey Jr., but responsible for rejuvenating Marvel Studios and the entire comic book movie genre in general. Although I'll admit an argument could be made for that on a Going to Batman Begins. Anyway, number 4 is the original Iron Man, and boy what a movie this is. RDJ steals the show in perhaps the most inspired casting choice in all of superhero movie history as genius billionaire playboy philanthropist Tony Stark. This movie and Downey Jr.'s performance literally set the tone for all of the Marvel movies that followed, and to this day his Tony Stark is quite clearly the focal point that the entire MCU gravitates around. It's still a movie that I watch like once a year, and it's so hard to find fault with. Director Jon Favreau knocked it out of the park with this. It will be a sad day when we find ourselves finally having to say goodbye to Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. Let's hope that day doesn't come for a long time. Number 3 on the list is the most recent entry into the MCU. That's right, it's none other than Captain America Civil War, and what is there to say about this movie that hasn't been said already? It's a Marvel fan's dream come true and has quite possibly the most awe-inspiring superhero movie set piece ever conceived. Once again, Chris Evans proves that while Downey Jr.'s Iron Man is the glitz and glamour of the MCU, his Captain America is the heart. Not to mention that we get our first look at the long-awaited MCU incarnation of the King of Wakanda, Black Panther, and of course the even longer-awaited introduction of a certain friendly neighbourhood wall crawler. No joke, I screamed like a little bitch when he showed up at the end of that second trailer. Captain America Civil War is a manifestation of all the hard work and magnificent storytelling that Marvel has weaved into its movies over the past decade, and it really is just a joy to behold. Now, I must admit that when deciding between this and the top spot, I went back and forth a few times, but in the end, I made my decision and I'm sticking to it. There is such a fine gap between this and the movie that eventually tops this list, but at number 2 for me is The Avengers. This is the movie that made me tear up in joy because as I watched Iron Man bank around New York City skyscrapers as the Hulk swatted aside alien invaders and Thor rained lightning down upon his foes, I realised that I never thought I'd see the day when comic book superheroes were so perfectly realised on the big screen. It was like being inside of a comic book. The Avengers is so close to perfect that it is the movie by which all other comic book team-up movies should be judged. It doesn't deny its pulpy roots or act ashamed of its source material. Joss Whedon fully embraces what it was that made these characters so beloved for 60 plus years, and the result is something spectacular, something that we'd never thought we'd ever see, something marvellous. Now, number 1 for me can only go to Captain America the Winter Soldier. This is a film that I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did. I didn't love the first Captain America movie, and even after seeing the Avengers, I still wasn't totally convinced by Chris Evans' portrayal of the character. However, upon seeing the Winter Soldier, all of my concerns went flying out of the window, and with good reason. This movie is a masterpiece of action cinema. Part 70s spy thriller, part James Bond, part superhero flick. This film exceeds well beyond its premise. It's clever, it's thrilling, and it has something to say that's worth saying. It doesn't aspire to some pretentious notion of what a superhero movie should be. It simply does what it does so well that it sets the bar simply through the excellence of its execution. Captain America the Winter Soldier is my number 1 movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that's it for this first episode of the High Five. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with more episodes in the future. I've been Dominic. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.